Anyway, right, we're not getting into that. I'm not exposing myself. That's not the start of the podcast. This is the start of the podcast. We're back, baby. This is post IPF Worlds 2025. We're back in business. We're back in action.
Yeah.
Where do we begin? We're going to try nice, snappy, quick hour episodes. What time are we starting at? Bing, bang, boom. Okay. How was Worlds?
Very fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Talk to me about it.
Super enjoyable. Super hot. Comp went on super late each day.
Yeah.
That dictates a lot of the...
There was like 50 people in each weight class.
It felt like that.
There was like
that.
D and E flights.
Yeah,
like.
D and fucking Z flights.
Lots of D, man. Lots of... What?
Yeah, the flights were very long.
Yeah.
The daytime was full of lifters, and then the prime time was in the evening.
Yeah.
I think it was just because there's so many lifters that it was so late. Yeah, you'd leave the venue at after 10 p.m. each night. It was still hot, and
Yeah, what was the temperature over there?
it got up to like 30 degrees. Temperature went up as the weight classes went up.
Oh,
Which is
then the stench went up.
Bro, it was a very unfortunate
You know what I'm talking
relationship,
about, brother.
okay? Because obviously as the lifters get bigger, they're sweating more anyway.
Man, let's say over the span of a competition, it just gets smellier and smellier. It starts off with like the under 47 girls, and then it goes to the 120 plus guys. That's the stench.
What are you saying about the under 47s, bro?
I'm saying they don't smell.
Okay, okay.
I'm sure there's maybe the odd.
Yeah.
But the 120 plus guys, the 120 and 120 plus guys, stinky. I've been in a few of those warm up rooms. You motherfuckers need to wash. I'm sorry, okay? Someone had to say it. I'm sorry.
Worlds was good.
Yeah.
Worlds was good. The lifting was great. Most weight classes were very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. Highlight?
Well, I was going to say not Perkins' weight class, because it's like he's actually so far ahead. It's not even...
Yeah, it's meh.
It's not a competition.
Like, what did he took like 5 attempts or something, did he?
Yeah. Now, I keep seeing a shit come up on Instagram. It's like, bro, you took 5 attempts because you took like a really hard. What are you saying? Like, anyone could take 3 attempts if they wanted to. I'm pretty sure I could total something with 3 attempts as well, bro.
But he did win. He won.
Yeah,
and did he win by like a considerable margin?
Yeah. Like,
who was he competing against?
that's what I mean.
Yeah, fair.
That's what it feels like when he's lifting. Whereas at least all the other classes were like,
There's a little bit of a battle.
Barnstein was a favourite, but wasn't guaranteed at all.
Ade come through.
Yeah.
Come through.
Man.
Anna could just pull something crazy.
Man, Ade's fucking deadlift. Did you see it?
I didn't. The only ones I watched were the 105s and 120s.
Yeah. Fair.
But I heard about it.
It was right there.
Yeah, similar to Sheffield. Like,
Yeah.
Similar to Sheffield. It's only a matter of time before it goes.
Yeah.
And isn't it so crazy to think that everyone looks at Anna as like the mad deadlifter? Ade's like right there. He's like 15 kilos.
What
off
is
him.
Anna's PB?
He's failed 400 a lot, I think.
Well, what's his actual?
I don't know.
Probably close to Ade's.
It's probably the same. Like,
Yeah.
But Ade can do it all. Like,
Crazy.
Ade can do it all.
Every weight class is great to watch. McNaughton is...
Yeah, that's dumb.
busted,
That's
man.
dumb.
That's
Yeah,
fucking insane.
I competed against him before. That's dumb.
What did Russ call him? McDumb thick.
Big dumb thick. Man, he is.
He is dumb thick.
That 105 is crazy. There was a lot of like weird, like funky stuff.
Yeah,
people bombing, people missing attempts that you wouldn't expect, and
Reagan just letting go of the bar before it hit the ground. Man. For the gold deadlift. Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He's still a junior.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
surely
this
this is the
year,
last
like-
year though,
Yeah.
yeah. What else?
Yeah, Meal missing his first deadlift. That was like, ooh, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
Coco bombing on squats.
Yeah.
Then
What do you think about that?
Coco bombing.
Yeah.
I watched them and I was like, makes sense. I think.
Fair.
What did you think?
Yeah.
Was it depth the first 2 times and then because he was too leant over the third?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think they are definitely cracking down more on that French low bar and the real bent over.
And they're getting rid of what?
Huh? They love the bent over position, huh?
They're getting rid of
Gaston's
bench
God.
sinking.
Oh yeah, you did
I
say
told
this.
you this,
Yeah. Tell the people.
So it was like confirmed that while we were there, because I think it might have been the 63s or the 57s.
Yeah.
One class was getting like reds non-stop for like
weird
for like
stuff, yeah.
depth, but it was depth. And I think they were like half enforcing the sinking thing. Maybe just because the refs were like, you know how they can be, and they're like, oh, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But then word got around that soon, they're bringing, like January, they're bringing in that you can't change from the elected start position when you get the start command.
Okay. So you can't drop your body position.
You can't drop your ribs, yeah.
That's so tough to judge that. Like, the bench steps is tough to judge as well. That they're
you can get away with a little bit, obviously, like anything, but it's
and then it's gonna be quite subjective, man.
You saw Alba; she benched 140.
Yeah.
Like, what's that gonna do? Now, to be honest, strong people tend to just be pretty strong.
Anyway. Like, it'll be a big bench anyway.
Yeah.
But let them have it. Like,
yeah, come on.
Let them have it.
It looks
like,
cool.
Yeah, it's big. Like, it's moving. It's like a dog getting sick. Do you know they're fucking heaving, man?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
But yeah, let him be, man. Let him be.
Have it.
My opinion was let him be with the bench steps.
Yeah.
And my opinion is let him be with the fucking sinking, man.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
There's just gonna be a mad new technique that comes out now, like that accounts for it. There's gonna be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me that's dumb, and I also think it's gonna make it so hard to ref because you're gonna be looking at so much stuff. Man, they already be missing the bum lifts.
Yeah, man, there was a video, not even a video, the stream.
Yeah.
We looked back on Andrews. It was like, the good lift.
3 white lads, baby.
That was good.
Sky high.
Yeah, they be calling people for harsh stuff.
Yeah, man, hip thrust PB, like, and then
you were distracting them, man. You're so handsome they couldn't even see the ass.
Yeah, the belly was in the way, man.
They're looking at that little tent you were pitching, man. Man,
they're looking for too much shit now. It's actually too hard.
I think they're just trying to make it, they had that like Olympic thing in mind. It was on the Olympic YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Man, if they're trying to get into the Olympics, why are you letting Gaston into the venue?
Ooh, boo, 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 boo. I heard someone had to call police on him, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Bro
that.
was outraged. He was hulking out.
Yeah, was he?
At the meeting.
He was Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah. He literally was, man, but just like purple. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Gaston trying to fucking infiltrate. Like,
oh, he infiltrates.
Yeah, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah. What do you make about the... Okay, I had 2 questions. What do you make about the Olympics?
I wanted to use words I can't use.
What?
I was going to use words I can't use.
Really?
No, it's cool. It is cool.
Okay, yeah, go.
It is cool. And I think powerlifting, I remember when I was coming up, when I was younger, people used to say, oh, like everybody would just go on gear then if it was in the Olympics. I think powerlifting
is gear anyway.
is getting to the stage where like things like Sheffield and it's becoming
Sheffield's more and
more mainstream, that in the next few years that concern won't matter whether in the Olympics or not. Yeah. I just don't care. Yeah. Like I don't like. Obviously, we're so involved that where it's shown doesn't affect our like commitment and maybe viewership of the sport. But I also think it's like things have changed. Like TikTok and social media and YouTube and everything like has changed what it means to be popular. Yeah. It's like Olympics 15, 20 years ago was the place. Whereas like now it's so prestigious and like if you hear someone's an Olympian, it's like, whoa, that's insane. Yeah. And like I have so much respect for it, but it's like for powerlifting, it doesn't need to get into the Olympics for it to be cool.
Yeah, true.
I think I think just let SPD run away with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I've changed my tune on it. I do hear and agree with everything there, but for whatever reason, I think if it got into the Olympics, that'd be massive. Because with powerlifting anyway, okay, there's a few like thoughts I have related to it. Whenever you tell anyone that you do it, one of the first questions is like, so when are you going to the Olympics? Like if you tell a family member that you're like, you're going to an international comp and it's like, oh my God. So like, if you win, do you then go to the Olympics? Well, no, it's actually not in the Olympics. Yeah. It's kind of similar to the one that is in the Olympics, but it's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. But I don't know if this was what did so significantly change my mind, but there was a guy in Southside. There's a guy who trains in the gym who...
Big double thing.
He has got a dump truck on him. Yeah. Somehow I stumbled across the fact that this man... So he's
stumbled across.
Yeah, no, he's... I believe he's like early 40s, but found out that he is an Olympian. That he... I think it was either like 2004, 2008, where he represented South Africa in like the 400 meter like relay running. And when I found that out, to me that was like the most mind-blowing thing ever. That this bro who would never tell you, like he would never let it on, is an Olympian. And I saw him in the gym and I was like, brother, we have beef. And he was like, why? And I was like, you never told me you're an Olympian. And he was like, shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell. And I was like, what do you mean don't tell anyone? I'm telling everyone. I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. And then I was asking him all about it. He was like, oh, he just didn't want to like flex on it. Didn't want to, just wanted to be like cool, calm, collected. I was like, bro, that is the coolest shit ever. And I was asking him all about it, and he's telling me about the Olympic Village, and he was like, it is like nothing you would have ever experienced in your whole life. And he was like, if powerlifting ever gets to the Olympics, he's like, do whatever you can to try put yourself in the best position to get there. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, this guy's an Olympian. And he's telling me like the behind the scenes of what the Olympics is like. I think that would be so insane. Imagine you qualify for the Olympics. Imagine you get to go to the Olympics. To me, that would be so sick. And I like they still do like world championships and European championships and whatever in all these other sports.
Who goes to the Olympics then?
I think the people who are maybe just like
top
2 in whatever like their country. And I think with powerlifting,
it would have to just be a kind
of like World Games. Did they do like 3? So instead of having all the weight classes, it's like a lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. Makes sense, yeah. So they like combine 66, 74,
83,
combine
93.
83, 93, combine 105, 120, and 120 plus. Combine them as well. Combine them in something.
Yeah, they are combined.
Yeah.
Sub 140s and over. Yeah.
I think that would be so. Just to have it's just an extra comp, and I don't know if I'm 100% correct on this, but I feel like it being on the Olympic channel, and maybe it's just the regular growth of powerlifting. Anyway, there's more people watching combined with social media, blah 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 blah. But I feel like the stream views were like mega. I feel like there was a lot of views for the different flights at this year's Worlds. So if it was,
because Adam Dwan was lifting.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out to Adam Dwan. If there was just an extra comp on the calendar that just happened to be like the most prestigious sporting event in the world, I think there's no harm in that. I think one of the fears was that it was going to be too sterile, like it makes the competition too sterile.
Yeah.
Worlds and Euros are sterile anyway. Like they already are sterile. How much more sterile is it going to go? And then you just still do stuff like Sheffield. That isn't sterile. That is a big more like showman meet. It's more of a money meet. Just have both of them that exist concurrently. It doesn't have to be like, doesn't have to come at the expense of that. I don't think that can still exist. I think there's evidence of like other sports that the Olympic section is just like an offshoot of powerlifting. It's just like an extra. It's just like a different style. It's like a different. Because I do think there are some sports where they have like changed the rules of it, or they changed like the way the competition itself is structured to make it more viewable for the Olympics, like condense it a little bit or change it a little bit. That's fine.
2 lift meet.
What?
2 lift meet.
Yeah, man, do it. Bring it back.
Perkins already hitting that, bro. Perkins
he's
already
pioneering
on
it. He's pioneering. Yeah. I saw somewhere is doing. I think they were doing a 1 lift meet. Were they? I think they were doing like a 1 lift meet where you can still have a total if you like miss, but your total is just going to be low, and you have to try wager like, what's the most I can hit? How close to the line could I get it? Anyway, interesting. But I think it would be mega if it got into the Olympics.
3 things. Okay.
Yeah. Hit me.
First of all, quick one.
Yeah.
World Games in China.
Yeah.
We're just not going to have the stream. They're
Really?
not streaming it to the West. And we were saying to the commentators like Amelia, we were like, they're going to get a script and it's just going to be like the mega universe world champion from China. It's going to be like edited like 5,000 kilo squat.
Man, what's that movie?
The US.
Man, the movie with Sacha Baron Cohen, The Dictator. The Dictator. Man, where he shoots the other runners. He's running the 100 meter and he just shoots the other runners.
And Russ is getting like kidnapped and shit. And they put on like just some like random Chinese dude for Russ. He can't squat, but they put him under Russ's opener. Yeah, that shit's gonna happen. But yeah, we'll get like
crazy.
a
We're not
snippet
gonna
of the
get
stream.
It. So we'll get like the highlights. We'll get like a 2-minute YouTube video.
If even.
That's
Apparently, the
crazy.
IPF are only allowed X amount to post on their Instagram of world records.
What?
So if there's more world records than they just can't post them.
Oh my god. So who did they just choose? This is the shittest one. Like, we don't like this fella, we're not posting it.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Uh,
That's small. That's first.
yeah.
Christian from GB is going.
Yeah.
He got an invite there. Did you see his last pull?
No.
Man, he pulled.
Big.
I don't know if it was what it was for now, but it was fucking like 374.5 or something like that. Man, he was here, bro.
And he didn't get it. Oh,
It
like
just
so
about
close.
missed, just about
Oh,
It was fucking
crazy.
sick. But sorry, that's War Games.
He's Duran's coach, isn't he?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't put that together in my head.
Yeah. As far as I know.
Yeah, Durance is jacked as well, man.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, the two Olympics things.
Yeah.
One, or here's two. Let me double fire you, and then you can
Oh,
answer.
come on, man.
Okay.
Fucking-
So we're gonna go. A.
Yeah.
Your man said to you. He said, "Do anything you
I
can."
know, when I said
to
that,
get
I was
in."
like...
Well. My question is maybe a little bit safe from that. It's more what comes to mind for you to do that would like most guarantee you
Go
getting
back
in.
to getting fat.
Okay, we'll explore that.
I'd
and
get
then-
fat to go to the Olympics.
Hold on.
Fine! I would get fat to go to the Olympics. I'll do it. Oh, fine.
Well, with that said, I guess what you're actually saying when you say that is, like, I'll go up to a class that's like less competitive.
Whatever. Yeah.
Man, with that said, I bet we'd have a bunch of people from like GB coming over and just competing
Trying to.
in Ireland because it would get them.
Yeah.
And I think that would
we'd
happen
need to
all
make
around the world.
yeah, we'd
People would
need to
go
make
to like
stricter
easier
rules.
countries.
Yeah.
I think is the Olympics different? Is the Olympics like you have to be like from the country or something?
Great question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know that it came up when we were there about how like lax we are about people just like lifting in different countries, and it's cool. It's just with the Olympics, it's like I bet you'd have a ton of people who's like anti is Irish.
Yeah.
They come over,
Man,
or they
man,
live.
Nonso jokes about that. Man, because Nonso was born in Ireland. For anyone who doesn't know,
Gonna have to do it now that Josh.
Yeah. Nonso used to joke about like doing a comp in Ireland. I was like, bro, fuck off. Piss off, man. It's already bad enough that I have to compete against you internationally.
Yeah, didn't Timmy say that as well?
Yeah, piss off. Yeah, Tim. Yeah. Why are all these motherfuckers trying to
Irish, bro.
steal my fucking thunder, man? Let me live. Let me live.
Yeah.
So that was the double prong. Was that both prongs?
That was the double prong.
Yeah. We'd have to tighten some shit up if we were in the Olympics just to try.
Oh yeah.
Shoehorn me in there.
Yeah. So how would you shoehorn yourself?
Go to a class that'd be most competitive, and that's probably 120. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be avoiding competitive classes like a motherfucker, man.
You'd be cutting into 120 if it was the Olympics.
Yeah, man.
No, man.
Yeah. Oh, to go to the Olympics, I'd fucking do it.
Can you imagine how sad you'd be if like you did all that and then some kid was just like 110?
And blasting gear, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, I think it's happening. Anyway.
Actually, to be honest, I think the Olympics would only have a prime time, basically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it would be the top, but
maybe a 16 lifter thing where it's like back-to-back 93s, but
I would hope that it would be kind of like Worlds where probably not though, where there's like a B flight that just isn't televised or isn't shown, but you get the chance to say you went to the Olympics.
Does that
Man, I'd
happen?
be getting that tattoo on the inside of my arm, the Olympic rings and all that shit. And people are like, "You're an Olympian?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was in the E flight, but don't worry about it."
We go coaching and we get
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Olympics
man.
rings.
100%.
Yeah.
And I was going to hit you with a question earlier before the Olympics, I think, but it was, do you think high judging would ever come in? Take out the subjectivity, because you know the way I was saying
That did come to mind, that
too subjective.
judging might be too subjective for the Olympics because it needs, though we have like objective depth, it's like...
But I feel a lot of stuff is subjective. I say like fighting, say like boxing, there's 3 judges.
That's true.
And there's so much, like, there's always drama about how inconsistent it is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That like one judge can score it like all the rounds to one person and the other 2 have scored it completely the opposite way, that all the rounds went to someone else.
Yeah.
But just even in general for powerlifting, is there a way that there's fucking like singlets are sold with a fucking
beeper?
Yeah, like some little thing, some tracker that there's a camera, there's something on the side that sees objectively like the hip crease has gone below the top of the knee, or it's objectively seen that your ass came off the bench.
Yeah.
Keep that one. We don't need that one coming into effect. Or like elbow depth, because it
Well,
is.
don't you have something that like tracks the movement of your ass?
Yeah, your eyes, man. Anyway, what were we saying? Yeah, AI. I think it's surely only a matter of time before that comes in. Mm-hmm. Someone was talking to me about a fucking like an AI rack. AI rack. Anyway.
Damn,
America just started bombing.
I thought you were talking about like an AI having a nice rack, not AI rack.
It was Iran anyway.
Damn.
Anyway, okay, not funny.
Damn.
Not funny too far. Man, I've been watching too much. Man, do you know Chris Williamson? He dropped on the podcast. He
Really?
said that, and I was like, man, if Chris Williamson can say it on Modern Wisdom,
He's in a
surely I can
position
drop-
now where he can
He
do
can
a
say
lot
whatever
of
he
things.
wants.
Yeah.
Fuck. But then I also listen to a lot of Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker, Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Here we go.
Yeah, theirs is off the charts.
charts.
Yeah. I've been listening to too much of that. It's being too normalized in my brain. But I was like, fuck it, if they can say it, maybe I can say it. And
Really?
then
Try it.
then I was actually thinking on the drive over here. I was like, will I drop it? I was like, okay, what if I'm explaining that Chris Williamson said it? Is it bad because I'm just quoting someone else?
That's like English teachers when you're reading about mice and men, and they're like, "I'll read this part just to really give you guys the kind of like tone that the author wanted." Crazy, insane.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Why are the English teachers always white as well? Yeah.
So
I think I was-
I'm getting closer, man.
I think
I'm
I
getting
was
a bit
like set
looser,
one of us up. I think she
Yeah.
was like, "Right, Sean, read."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, where are we?" And he like got to the page, and she's like, "Yeah." She made him say it out loud.
He's getting beat up after class.
No, he went for it.
He said it with chest, like.
They like whisper it.
Man, it rolled off.
She's
the
like,
tongue,
"Let's go back."
It rolled off the tongue, man. It was too natural. And he said that one before. Anyway.
Whoa.
Okay, now I'm getting closer, man, to dropping that R. But no, not the hard R. No, the other one, the Chris Williamson R, man.
What the fuck?
No, not the Of Mice and Men one.
Given what we were just talking about, you're saying that without.
Yeah, no. Anyway,
Whoa.
what are we saying here? It's getting hot in here.
Yes, damn. We were talking about AI racks. It's a sensitive subject right now.
No, I think it was Iran. But I think anyway, not funny. Too far.
Yeah, really not funny.
That's why you're crying. No, an AI rack, AI power rack, where if it senses that you're failing, it like shoots the safeties up to like catch you, rather than you like having to dump the bar or like missing or something. It, like
Oh.
the safeties are there. I think it might actually be ropes rather than like a metal
get
safety,
you.
like a
I
face
get you.
saver. I think it's like ropes that like they're connected to like a little fucking pulley system winch kind of thing up here that it, for however it tells you failed, it like zing, and then catches the bar so that you don't have to go all the way down into the hole, because I would say it's probably when you're in the very bottom position with a weight that you can't control, that's the dangerous.
Would you say there's a power cage with the adjustability of a power rack? Because if so, that's the safest thing to train on.
The hybrid kind of thing, the hybrid like mono looking kind of thing,
Oh,
maybe.
those things. Yeah.
No.
Keep it.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm fine.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. The two racks in the gym that we're in are out of action. They've
Yeah,
been
tell the
busted,
people
man.
about that shit.
I don't know what to tell them, brother. They've just been, the uprights have just been like.
I was deadlifting one day and I saw like one dude in there that you definitely know off the top of your head,
Yeah.
giving out to one of the staff members, and they were both giving out that
Yeah.
like they're like, yeah, some fucking lads before they're squatting and they're like rocking the
Oh,
bar.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, bro, if the rack can't hold
yeah,
the bar
but-
moving back and forth, there is no back and forth movement
Yeah.
in it. There shouldn't be.
Yeah.
If the rack can't handle that.
Man, I'm one of the fellas who moves the bar back and forth, but I've been doing that on racks that are like 10 years old
Yeah.
and there's no wear and tear.
Of course. Imagine you put in 320
Yeah.
And because it moves forward and back, it rips off? No.
Yeah. To clarify as well, these racks are not, it's not Eleiko, it's not ER,
they're
it's not Rogue.
self-welded.
It's like it looks like it was made by just a welder. So anyway, I was chatting with the owner and he said he's going to get new racks, he's going to upgrade them, so shout out to him for doing that, for looking after us, keeping us safe. Because it is like an awkward one, and I would have always found those conversations awkward in the past, to be like, the equipment is not great, can you get us better? Because you don't want to seem like a prick. Like, you don't want to seem like a
prick, but they charge us more for training in there.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I actually said if there's only 2 racks,
refund a bit of membership.
Yeah, why are we paying extra?
Yeah. So in fairness, he took it on board because it was that. It was like, I've got the feedback that people are damaging the racks. And I was like, yes, maybe the way that people are using the racks has damaged them, but I think the racks should be able to hold up more. They shouldn't break under those conditions. Yeah. Like, I've been doing that for years and years and years and years, and I've never seen any rack in any gym buckle the way that those racks have buckled. Anyway, yeah, that's that. What else is going on? AI rack.
We did talk about a level of Andrew and I's relationship where we would tickle each other's piggies to get more information out of each other. Do you have that kind of relationship with your
boys?
Buddies,
yeah.
Your boys, your girls?
With anyone?
Yeah.
With anyone.
With anyone? Are you on piggy tickling terms with anyone?
Matt, as soon as I saw the video, it was Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker. It was Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
And
he's trying to tickle his piggies he's
and
trying to tell a story.
It worked. He was getting it out of him.
And I saw the video and that was him instantly. He's a piggy tickler, like a tiggy pickler. He's a tiggy pickler.
Be careful.
I was going to restart a joke, but I think it's getting too close to the line. Yeah. It was about like Kevin Hart and his trainer, and the trainer was asking him if he had any niggles, like anything sore.
Kevin was like, what?
Yeah, but the trainer was like Australian or something. Kevin was like, you can't say that, bro, you can't say that. And he was like, what?
He's hilarious, man. He's like, Kevin opened a show recently with Drewski.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're a perfect combo, I think. Yeah.
Anyway,
what else we got?
It's I think I'm gonna pack in the climbing. There's actually another funny. Anyway, I'll get back to the climbing. There was a funny one I came across. There's someone I know sent me some snippets from a book that their mum had. What? Let me pull this shit up. God. Okay, this book is about celery juice. Okay, This was the craziest thing that I've ever seen in my life, and it really opened my eyes, and I realized I've been doing it wrong all this time.
Why?
Okay, because I'm not juicing, brother. This thing right here is explaining the celery juice solves every ailment under the sun. This is a 185-page book on celery juice, okay? Bust open the book. 185 pages. You'd think the text is kind of big. You'd think maybe it's like big text so that they can get
pictures.
Nothing. No pictures. There is a lot of... There's small text. Small text on these 185 pages. There's a lot of information in here. And this book seems kind of old as well. So this is before like AI could write you a lot of stuff. There's some guy who has dedicated his whole life to figuring out the secret of celery juice. Let me read this. And you won't believe who's endorsing this as well. It's next level. Okay.
Who's endorsing it?
Get your life back with the only definitive guide to celery juice, brother. Okay. Find relief from acid reflux, acne, Alzheimer's and dementia, anxiety, autoimmune disease, bladder infections, bloating, brain fog, cancer, constipation, depression, dermatitis, diabetes,
yes,
dry cracked skin, eating disorders, eczema, edema and swelling, eye problems, not even a specific eye problem, just anything eye problem
with your eyes.
Celery juice has got you. Fatigue, okay, fibromyalgia, gallstones, headaches and migraines, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, joint pain, lupus, Lyme disease, Lyme disease, mood swings, multiple sclerosis,
bro,
polycystic ovarian syndrome, psoriasis, rosacea, sinusitis, sleep problems, thyroid conditions, tingles and numbness, vertigo, Vitiligo! Isn't that the one where your skin is different color? It's gonna put your skin in
gonna
different
fix
that. And weight problems. Okay? So this celery juice is gonna solve everything. Okay? So there was one bit, there's a whole chapter on debunking myths and rumors.
About cancer.
About celery juice, okay?
Okay.
And it was trying to convince you that people are gonna come and try to tell you that celery juice is not the answer.
I hear that all the time.
It's the most definitive answer. So anyone who's trying to tell you otherwise,
I had a feeling they were lying.
yeah, exactly. They're trying to. It's propaganda, and it's trying to take you away because this is the one cure for everything, but they can't make profit off it. So they are trying to turn you away from celery juice. But then it started saying that if you say that, it's equivalent to bullying, and it is minimizing people's health problems because people have changed their lives and recovered from the celery juice. So if you try to say that celery juice is not the cure, you are minimizing these people's struggles. You are saying that they're stupid. You're saying that they have ill intent in their heart, and you are bullying them.
Yeah.
So you can't question celery juice, otherwise you're a bully, a bigot, and a horrible person.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read this. Look at the amount of text. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said small text. There's a lot here. Okay. No matter what tactics try to undermine your trust in celery juice, remember, celery juice works. That's plain to see. Don't let anything shake your confidence in the healing you've experienced from celery juice. When the rumors keep coming as the years go by, learn to laugh them off and feel sorry for those who perpetuate them. Oh my God. What are we saying? Oh, it just goes on now.
Is it a recipe book?
Kind of. It's just healing. It's talking about how celery juice heals you.
It's a celery Bible.
Yeah. Oh, there was more here. That's... Oh, I'm going to have to read through it. I don't want to...
Do you want to try it?
Celery juice?
Yeah.
Man, maybe. If celery juice doubts gets you riled up, keep this in mind. When someone takes issue with celery juice, what they're communicating is how lost they are.
This is like a...
Fuck, it's not in...
It's like a cult.
It's literally a cult.
Yeah.
It's like if anyone tries to steer you away from this,
don't believe
they're
them.
a filthy
Laugh
liar.
at them.
Yeah. They
filthy,
can,
dirty animal.
Oh, half of the text is cut off, but I want to... If they stop to consider it, there's no way they would want to discredit people who, after months of suffering, are able to get out of bed, care for their children, or go back to earning a living thanks to celery juice. The naysayers are compassionless. Oh my God. Oh, they're simply lost and searching for something. You are found. You know the truth of celery juice. The truth of celery juice has found you. Oh my God. It is literally a cult.
That is culty.
It's a cult.
That is culty. That's like setting up a new religion.
Oh my God. The religion of celery juice.
Yeah.
Man.
Unless it's a metaphor for something.
I don't know.
It could be a big joke book. It's a big metaphor for like...
Could be a big joke book. About the author. This is crazy. About the author where he goes...
Just a piece of celery?
Yeah, no.
in a jacket and a hat?
Infiltrated. No, it's like a carrot, man. And he's trying to take out the celery population. He's trying to take out the celeries. It's a gang war. It's propaganda from the carrots.
It's just a rabbit in a hat. A jacket.
Yeah. Okay, since the age of 4, Anthony has been using his gift to read people's conditions.
What's his gift? Oh,
just to read people's conditions and tell them how to recover their health. His unprecedented accuracy and success rate as the medical medium has earned him the trust and love of millions worldwide, among them movie stars, rock stars, billionaires, professional athletes, and countless others from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who couldn't find a way to heal until he provided them with the insights above.
Since he was 4 years old, guys.
Since he was 4, he knew he had one bite of celery when he was a kid. Then he said, brah. Okay, man, you'll never guess who endorsed this, okay? I'll read out the quote. This is on the back of the book.
Okay.
Celery juice is sweeping the globe. It's impressive how Anthony has created this movement and restored superior health in countless people around the world. Who said that?
John Jones.
Sylvester Stallone. Rocky.
Man,
Rocky's on the celery juice,
They get
Rocky's on the celery juice.
Man, they get them.
Man.
Fucking elderly people. They do. Like, I swear I've seen Arnie do something similar on IG.
Yeah.
You know, like some fucking
crazy
bean powder or something, you know what I mean? They get them.
Man, 185 pages about celery juice and celery juice being the cure-all. And obviously it works because this person's mum
Well,
bought
obviously
it.
it fucking works.
Yeah. Oh, and the amount, I can't believe that there's shit. And then there was a whole other section about you can't mix the celery juice with anything because it
Obviously
taints it.
not,
You don't want to add impurities to
So
the
what do
celery
you do?
juice.
You just blend it?
You just blend it. And then eating just celery by itself? No, you got to blend it to release the nutrients. But will that get rid of the fiber? Forget about that, okay? Just don't worry about it. That's basically what they said. They just said, don't worry about it.
Don't
just,
think about the fiber.
Just blend it. Don't add water to it. It basically said celery juice is better than water. It also said something about how celery juice is more hydrating than anything else in the world. It said if you have a trainer or a doctor who recommends that you ever consume like electrolytes or salt in your water, know that this is severely dehydrating.
Yeah.
And that celery juice is severely hydrating. So never consume.
What are we doing?
What are we talking about?
No, but what are we doing? Why aren't we on celery? If that's the case.
Man, I'm going to start juicing. I'm going to the Olympics, man. I'm
Gonna be walking into the gym.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
You
I
can't.
don't eat it.
Man, you got to go with that. Just the green juice, man. Man, we're juicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. I've been fucking up all this time.
How much? Like, what's a?
There was ratios in the back of the book. It gave you like a ratio chart of how to go about it properly.
Stupid question.
Man, I couldn't believe the rumors and the propaganda. If anyone ever tries to tell you that celery juice is not the answer, they're lost.
Yeah.
You are found.
They're lost.
You know the truth of celery juice, and the truth of celery juice knows you. That's
Yeah, found you. That's fucking
insane.
insane.
Fucking insane. So yeah, anyway.
I feel enlightened.
Man, I'll get you the book, man. I'll buy you the book.
I'm motivated. That worked.
Yeah. Man, Sylvester Stallone said it, so it must be right.
It must be right. Does blending get rid of the fiber?
I don't know if it gets rid of the
Because it like
fiber,
kind
but
of breaks it
reduce-
down a bit.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that is fully true. I have heard that before, though. I need to look into it more, that like juicing stuff, because you are breaking down like the skins and whatnot into like really fine bits, that it's perhaps not as beneficial, or not gonna have the effect that eating like a whole piece of fruit or vegetable would do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's that significant.
How has your stool consistency been since eating less?
Great. It's actually way healthier.
Really?
Way healthier.
What was it before?
And not so healthy. Why are you trying to get the specifics, okay?
When you say not healthy, were they just shapeless?
Man, what's that?
You can tell me.
There's a stool chart.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever seen that?
Yeah, Abby has to use it for kids.
Just to watch their poo, did she?
No, they have to like rate where their poo's at. Like,
If you started doing that for your clients, what do you think the reception would be? If you started telling your clients in your check-ins, you've got to start hitting me with the.
I'll just say
rating.
this. I have a client who said that from now on, he's going to rate his RPE by whether or not the poo could sift through his fingers.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Basically just meant...
And where did he learn that one, brother? Where did he learn that? From the fucking man himself. Yeah. Man, I had a friend who was an OG in the powerlifting world.
Have you pooed lifted?
No, never. But I was about to say that I have an OG in the powerlifting world who told me that he has pooed himself a little bit every competition he's done, and he's probably done 15 competitions.
Kirill?
Huh?
Kirill?
No.
What's out of him? He was getting a drug test and he was like, wait.
Yeah.
To go wash the poo out of the singlet.
Yeah, crazy. You?
No.
A little nuggy? A little...
But when I was sick last
skitty?
week...
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I was squatting.
Yeah.
Pause squatting. It's the closest I've been.
Yeah. Walking the line. Like,
doors open.
Walking the line.
Yeah.
Elvis is knocking.
Yeah.
The turtle's poking his head, man.
Something. And it wouldn't have been a turtle. It would have been
a
liquid.
mudslide. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is gross. People might be eating food at the moment.
Sorry,
They
yes.
might be
People
moving swiftly on.
juicing their celery.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
What else is happening? Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna pack in the climbing now.
Oh
I think it's time to. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to part ways.
Cool.
It was good. It served.
Why? Tell the people.
served its function for the period of time that I was doing it. So I'm 94 kilos now. 94. 23 kilos down.
Oh, damn.
51 pounds down. 51 pounds. 51 pounds weight loss. That's crazy.
Man, you're like a whole like check-in luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is mad.
That's a bit mad. I'd love to see the weight you've lost. Physically.
Like in front of you, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
Because it's more than that, like.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I am over 50 pounds down, and I'd say I'm nearing the end of the deficit. I'm probably going to go down to high 80s, I would say. I'm factoring in that whenever you go from the bottom of the deficit back up to maintenance, you will probably expect to gain like 2 or 3% of your body weight back.
Cool.
So probably bloat back up like 2 keys. So if I got down to like 86, I'd probably go back up to 88. Let's say that. So that's what I'm going to factor in, because I don't want to come down to 90 and then be back up to like 92 as soon as I go back to maintenance cals. So that's the position I'm in now. I'm kind of nearing the end of the deficit. And now that I'm so close to being 93, I'm like, yo, I might just do a comp at 93, brother. We might be back. We might be. For some reason, I woke up one morning and I was like, 500 dots, hit a comp at 93 and tick it off. Because now I feel like my strength is like maintaining quite well. Stuff still feels heavy and it's kind of crap because you've been in a deficit for the bones of 6 months, half a year, or something like that. But I'm like, being at 93, these numbers are quite good. I don't think I could do nationals because I'd be 2 weight classes down. So I would say it'll probably be early next year, end of this year, comp 93, try tick off 500 dots. With the climbing, it's been fun. But now with like the heavy training, climbing, and the deficit cals, I was getting like real bad elbow tendonitis. And I was like, okay, fuck this. I'd take like 2-3 days off and then go back in to climb and try even do something that's like kind of easy. But then I was getting caught in the middle ground where, okay, the rating system for how difficult the different routes are is like 1 through to 9. I've been ticking off a few 7s. I was getting good at the 7s. Don't put your toe in my shoe. That's disgusting. See, he's a fucking piggy tickler, man. He's... I had to take a second to think about there was a hesitation.
Piggy.
Well, I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, the scale is 1 to 9. I've been hitting 7s, but now it's like
9.
Yeah, it's like anything that is below a 7 now feels like it's beneath me. But half of the 7s are not. They're not doable. Okay, they're not doable.
I'm gonna clip that 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with anything lower than a 7, man. Anyway, so, but half of the 7s are actually impossible. And it's getting to the stage where, okay, most competitive climbers are like 60 kilos. I am obviously never going down that low. I don't want to get down to that body weight. So there is a lot of stuff that is, it actually just feels like it's too difficult. It feels like it's beyond just like a technical thing. I would need to be lighter to get into that position and be able to like suspend myself just by my fingertips. I'm just like too heavy to get into the positions that a lot of the stuff requires. So I kind of feel like I've hit a bit of a plateau with what would be achievable for my like frame at the moment. So then I was like, do I want to put in all the effort to like continue progressing with that? Not really, because I don't want to take it that serious. It was just something to like be fun and different to keep me going while training wasn't as productive. So it was like a social outlet. I could do it with my brother, I could do it with my friends. It's like something it's like everyone kind of sucks at it. Like I'm not doing it with anyone who's particularly good. So we all kind of suck. We're all in the same playing field. It's just get a bit of a sweat on, get a bit of a pump on. It's fun, something different, use your brain in a different way. But I feel like I've hit a plateau where I don't really want to do all the work required to get better. And I think I'm probably at a bit of an impasse where my body type would need to change so significantly. And then that made me realize, I was like, yeah, I've put in like 8 years of training with powerlifting. I have like such a base in powerlifting. I have so much experience in powerlifting. If I like inverted it the other way around and there was like a 60 kilo climber who they had been like competing internationally for years and years and years, and then they got out of their age category and they were like, you know what? I'm going to start powerlifting. And they were like just 60 keys and they're like skin and bone and really frail. And they start powerlifting and they see like some noob gains. And then it's like, okay, do you really want to put in all the amount of time and effort that would be required to continue progressing and get good at this? Or will you do the thing that you're like already doing well at, seeing a lot of success at, that you know very, like, you know, like the back of your hand. You're very, you know all the ins and outs. You're super experienced with it. I was like, yeah, you know what? Comp at 93 it is. 500 dots, comp at 93. Let's tick that shit off. The climbing served its purpose to keep me going, just keep me interested while training wasn't good, to get me down from 117 to 93, whatever it is. But now we're getting to a stage, and my powerlifting sessions have been the most enjoyable that they've been in months, because it's like now I have something in the back of my mind that I am working towards.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was coming in and I was like, it's kind of just like damage limitation. It's kind of just trying to hold on to some gains. I'm not really working towards anything. I'm just ticking the box kind of, which was fine because I was just kind of ticking the box while the body weight came down. Like, you just need to give it enough time. But now I'm kind of nearing the end of that process, and it's probably going to be time to kick that back up. But again, I now have the new lens of, I don't even think I'll go above like 100 kilos again, body weight wise. I would say peak bulk would be up around like 100 keys. So if I competed as a 105, it would be a light 105, or compete at 93. Which is funny because there were people who were like, Comfort, if she's listening, she was like, you're going to do a comp of 93. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to do it because I'd be so weak. I'm not going to do it. There's no shot I'm going to do a comp of 93. And she's like, I know you're going to do one. And I was like, I'm literally not going to do one. Like, I have less than zero interest doing a comp of 93. She was fucking right. She was fucking right.
Yeah.
Now, still being said, there's a while to get before that's in action. But yeah, I'm pretty open to the idea of doing a comp of 93 now.
It's exciting.
And it would just purely be for fun, purely for enjoyment. Like, I don't. Well, again, this is me saying it now in whatever, June 2025.
Yeah.
But if it's the case where I'm like 10 keys off whatever qualifying standard at 93, brother, if they say we're in the Olympics, you best believe I'm getting on the celery juice. Yeah, it's been so interesting seeing how much body fat I have at the different body weights as I've been coming down.
Okay.
Being close to, say, 93 now, I'd say into the 80s, I'd be quite lean. Feeling like good, feeling really good about body composition. Where when powerlifting was like the number one focus and being as strong as possible was the number one focus, there's never a time that cutting into the 80s would have even been a possibility or a consideration.
It's way too far away.
Yeah, it's not feasible. That's also, it's like 6 months of work away.
Yeah.
So why would I take a step out of competing to...
Tell me you don't like the idea of doing a comp at 83. Just do 83, 93.
Do the build back again.
Yeah.
Because I started at 83.
Yeah.
Went to 93, went to 105. Do I just run it back again?
Run it back.
Man, the next 10
You'd
years
be like,
is the 83 back to 120 again.
83,
Yeah.
water cut from 85, and then do a comp at 93.
I feel like 80... Maybe. To be honest, maybe.
Because when you get into the 80s, you're going to
I don't want to go. Yeah. Maybe. To be honest, at this stage, I'm not shut off to that.
It doesn't even matter what you hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just for fun.
Yeah, just for the crack.
So yeah, it's possible. I'm not shut off to that anymore. I'm way more. I feel like I'm back in my like enjoying powerlifting kind of arc. I had to take a little bit of time just to let. It was a turbulent period. Let's just say that it was a turbulent period. So I needed to adjust my priorities accordingly. Now it feels like things are steadying out a little bit, and we can kind of put the head down again.
Yeah.
And it will mainly just be for enjoyment. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. It's also been really interesting navigating training, a deficit, extracurricular activity like climbing, as well as swimming, and seeing how I can still perform under the circumstances of extra expenditure. Whereas before,
that's nice, actually.
I would not have done anything that wasn't powerlifting. It was 100% like focused towards that. And then say I would work with clients who are balancing powerlifting with another pursuit that they're doing, whether they're doing running or whether they're doing another sport, they're playing like football or rugby or whatever. But I wouldn't have had that. I wouldn't have had a frame of reference for that in my recent memory, aside from when I was playing football when I was like 15, 16, as well as training. So now it's kind of given me an updated perspective of what other work is possible to balance with training. So I imagine I will keep up the swimming as I reprioritize the powerlifting training again, because it's like super low impact and it is manageable. I've been able to train for the last couple of months while doing that. I think the climbing demands too much, and yeah, I don't want to put in the work. That's not the mountain I want to climb. Yeah. It's like a fun side recreational hobby, but it's getting to the stage where I don't want to do all that no more. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's how we're looking.
Does that make you feel excited?
It does make me feel excited. Yeah. It's like there's stuff on the horizon again, whereas a while where I was coming into training with powerlifting, it was like directionless. It was like I'm just trying to like hit the baseline, and I don't know why I'm trying to hit the baseline. It's just because I want to continue doing it, but I don't know what I'm doing it for. Like, am I just gonna train for the sake of like I enjoy the training? Like, it's good for my head to just get in and move. Like, it's good for your body to resistance train. But now it's like, okay, there's like a task I could work towards. There's like it's just having a mountain to climb. Like, it's just having a direction when you get up in the morning that there's something to do. Yeah. Like, there's something broader or greater that you're like working towards. Yeah. I think having that does excite me. And I think it's like kind of necessary. I do want to start jiu-jitsu though.
Really?
Yeah, fuck. But I think in the beginning
stage. What about triathlon?
Yeah, I think I will do one of those eventually as well. But they're all kind of like up in the air. I think I will probably start jiu-jitsu over the next few months. Mm-hmm. But I imagine I will take that similar to the climbing, where it's just recreational in the beginning. I don't think I would plan to compete. Now, that being said, if I start it and then I'm enjoying it and then I'm getting better at it, then I would want to pursue that. But I would like to take, like, say in the beginning, I want to do stuff like drilling. I don't want to be doing like rolling and like actually like hard grappling. I just want to take it cruisy. I don't do anything that's going to like impact my training too much.
Yeah.
I would like to just get experience like in that domain.
Yeah.
Because I think that's good. I think that is like I kind of over the last few months have developed that taste for being competent in all the different skill sets beyond just lifting weights, while still acknowledging that the bulk of my experience and I was gonna say like talent isn't the word, but like abilities exist in that domain of strength sports. But I still want to be competent, at least a little bit, in say some form of like endurance training, whether it be swimming or cycling, some sort of like combat training, jiu-jitsu, fucking Muay Thai, something like that. Yeah, I want to be competent in a few different areas, but I do think my wealth of experience remains in powerlifting, and that's what I'll keep as the main thing. Yeah.
For an indefinite period?
Yeah. It's a mistake to look too far into the future, as only one link in the chain of destiny may be handled at a time. Winston Churchill. So yeah, we'll just see.
You're just hungry to have some sweaty nuts in your face when you're rolling.
You best believe, brother. Yeah. You best believe. I'll be dragging you in there. I'll be dragging you in and saying, bro, come on.
Open.
Man, obviously. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be getting you involved. Getting you in a rear naked choke, brother. You won't stand a chance.
Why rear naked was the first one that came to mind? Because
that's the one I'm most familiar with. Do with that information what you will. I don't know why it's called that.
I can make some guesses.
Rear naked. You're just choking someone from behind.
From the rear, naked.
Yeah, why does it say naked though? Why did they throw that out?
Because it's better. Any more tattoos you're gonna get?
Nah. No.
Cool.
I want to get leaner first for a considerable period of time. Yeah. So I'd say it's probably 2-3 years down the line before any more tattoos are on the horizon. I'm going to get this arm done.
Let me see.
Oh,
wait, I want to see. Oh.
Man, get out of here, man.
Okay.
I want to get this arm done, but Like I can't see anything on this arm.
Yeah.
Or anything on this leg really. So I like having the contrast of having an arm and having a leg.
But when
that
you're
I can see.
really lean, you will.
Yeah, maybe, probably, but it is still like significantly covered. Where like if I'm standing and flexing both quads, it's like there's just so much happening on this one.
Yeah.
Weird lines and stuff that aren't contouring the shape of the thing, that it just doesn't really make that sense. Like veins and everything, I can see all the vascularity on this arm when I'm training, whereas there's like I can't see any vascularity on this arm because there's just so much shit going on. Man, why are you covering your face like there's something inappropriate said? Veins. Literally just said veins.
Yeah, we were just joking about them when we were in Germany.
Oh yeah? What were you joking about?
I was just giving people the joke of you eat Snickers upside down so you can feel the vein.
Oh yeah. Me?
Yeah.
You were saying that about me? I wasn't even present.
Yeah. It had to be about someone.
But that's crazy.
You reading any books at the moment?
Yeah. I've actually hit a few good ones recently. At the moment, a book called Alchemy, which is...
That's celery juice. It's like mixing celery juice to make it perfect.
I think the tagline is the surprising utility of like abstract ideas or something. That's not the actual tagline, but it's like just the good stuff that can come from like really stupid ideas.
Okay.
So it's a guy who is a marketer, and he was talking about one of the opening things is he was talking about Red Bull, and he was talking about how there's a company that decided, how can we make a drink that can like rival Coca-Cola? I have an idea. Let's make a liquid that tastes like shit and put it in a tiny can and charge like $5 for it. And it's such like it was such an abstract, like unusual, divert from the norm thing that for some reason like it took off.
Yeah, why is it so expensive?
Literally, so that's one of the things that they talk about is like making things more expensive so that it seems more like higher value because we just attribute like the value to something to the cost of it. So like it is the same thing, it has the same production cost, but you just charge more. It makes it seem higher ticket. Whereas oftentimes when you reduce something, it makes it seem like they're reducing it to get rid of it because it can't be that good.
Yeah.
Like say they were talking about tickets for like a theatrical show. They put them on sale, but then people weren't buying them because they were cheaper and people were like, okay, it can't be that good if they're just trying to get rid of the tickets. Yeah. Whereas then they increased the price of them and then people bought them more and whatever. But yeah, he said like with Red Bull, when they did blind taste tests, the feedback from it was like, you couldn't even pay me to drink this horrid piss. Damn. It is the most disgusting thing ever. And they were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. and man, it took off. And he's like, and now they make so much profit that they can fully fund like a F1 team just as a side project, as well as all this other shit that they do.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so like the surprising power of like abstract ideas. And he talks about like asking stupid questions. Like say, he was talking about commuter trains and how can you shorten the distance or the perceived distance that someone has to travel. So you could make these new like hyper speed trains that save like 45 minutes on the journey, but it takes like 10 years to build them and it costs like 50 million.
Yeah.
Or what you can do is change the ticketing system where instead of buying a ticket for a specific train, you have flexible tickets where you can either board one train before or after. There's like the scheduling, so you know exactly when a train is going to arrive and blah, blah, blah. So you subjectively like reduce the perception of time being spent on the train because you don't have to get there early to ensure that you don't miss your train, because if you do miss your train, then you can't get on the one before or after. So you're actually getting to the train station earlier and just watching one or two trains go by that you can't get on because you don't have the ticket that applies to get on it, all that kind of stuff. Or about on the train itself, people getting like standing tickets as opposed to seated tickets, and why do people not like standing? And he's like asking those kind of questions, like why do people not like standing on a train? Obviously, it seems like such a straightforward answer that you would never ask that in a board meeting. If you're like a director of marketing, you don't ask that. You're not going to ask that in a meeting because it's like weird. It's stupid. Why would you ask something that's so simple and so basic? But when you start digging into that, why do people like it? Is there more like status associated with being seated, that you have more control over your space? People aren't bumping into you. There's less risk of someone pickpocketing or robbing something out of your bag or things like that? Or is it that it's more physically tiring when you're standing as well? Could you create just like a bum rest that you get to like lean on as opposed to having to fully stand and balance yourself on the train that's moving around? And exploring all those kind of ideas that are left of field as opposed to the status quo or like the safe, banal, straightforward options. So that's been super interesting to explore.
Nice read.
Yeah. So I'd recommend that book, Alchemy. What else have I gone through?
Before your next book, if Monster didn't have caffeine, do you think you would drink it for the taste?
No.
None of them?
No.
Well, maybe that's because we aren't big fizzy drink guys.
Yeah.
But do you think people would drink it for the taste? Because
maybe, okay, but is it now that they're taking them away? Like they're taking the caffeine out of it, but we already have the branding.
You already have the branding and you already like enjoy it. I also think you would wean yourself off as well.
Probably because it's like drinking a Coke.
Unless someone drinks tons of fizzy drinks, that's maybe the difference.
Yeah. So, I would say so.
Yeah.
Like if a new one came out that's just a new fizzy drink that tastes like a Monster fucking like a purple Monster. Yeah. Would you? Probably not. Why would you if you did? Like all those
only
kind
for
of
a fizzy
questions.
drink.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, a lot of it is about branding and what goes into it, or it's just a very interesting book. I like the guy who's like authoring it and narrating it. He's like a very British kind of guy. Yeah, he's one of them. Nice. He's a cheeky bastard. Okay, he's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Enjoying that book a lot. I'm like halfway through that. Then when the body says no.
Body says no.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
That's good as well.
I've heard this in multiple books now about prostate cancer.
Okay.
About how there's basically a lot of people are getting tested for prostate cancer. There's like a urine test that you can do, like a PCA urine test, that would tell you if there's like certain metabolites or something that are in your urine that would indicate that there is something abnormal going on in your prostate.
Don't you piss on a pregnancy test on it?
Could very well do.
Test positive.
I think I've heard that before. And then the other one is the digital rectal exam where you shove a finger up the ass.
Yeah, you keep getting those.
Yeah, and you keep giving them. And
not my hand, brother. Sorry.
The fucking digital something rectal exam where you get in, the doctor feels around and whatever.
Nice.
But it's in multiple books now. Basically, it said like prostate cancer develops so slowly that there's like two options. You can either like surgically go in there and fucking remove whatever is jacked up, or get like the chemo. And both of those come with like significant impacts to your health, where like the surgery may mean that you like can never have like full function of your like doohickey downstairs again.
Loss. No loss.
Crazy. And I think it might lead to like fucking just like pissing yourself or maybe like shitting yourself.
Incompetence, yeah.
And then the chemo obviously is just like total body blasts you and fucking nukes you and takes you down. Compared to just monitoring it and doing nothing, like having no intervention, maybe beyond but like lifestyle stuff, trying to just minimize stress. Celery juice. Yeah, no, you need to put that in the back of the book as well. Solves your fucking prostate cancer. Yeah, no, he did. Cancer. He says it solves cancer. Just monitoring it and not doing anything. And apparently it progresses so slow that generally people with prostate cancer will die of old age before they die of any complications to do with cancer. But I've heard that in multiple books now. Because I don't know, for some reason, prostate cancer seemed... in my brain, I was like, fuck, I might get that. I don't know why. I don't know why in my brain. I was like, fuck. Like, that seems to be like a thing. Occasionally I wonder, I wonder if it's going to take me out. Like, yeah.
Well, you don't have it yet.
No.
We can check again later.
Yeah. Crazy. And we don't have any pregnancy tests.
I got these digits.
Yeah. So anyway, that's interesting. I just found that interesting because in one of the books it was talking about how a lot of doctors tend to push like one way or the other of recommending surgery or recommending the chemo or recommending whatever, but in a lot of instances just monitoring it and doing nothing seems to be like a good go-to thing. So like that information, having that in my brain, I feel is beneficial if I ever fucking get diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And then it said as well, incidences of prostate cancer where people were getting treated for it was just going up exponentially with people testing for it more. Where he was kind of like, just stop testing for it as much. Like, just don't go looking for it. Because when you go looking for it, the likelihood is you may find it, but it is not going to give you any complications. Like, if you...
Benign.
Yeah. Like, if you go looking for it and then you start treating yourself, you could be putting something in effect that wasn't necessary. I also listened to another book. I think it was called Principles by Ray Dalio. I don't know who he actually is, but he's like a kind of an investor, money management guy. A lot of people seem to have gone to him. He actually, he's the guy who got Chicken McNuggets to come to fruition because he was consulting for McDonald's and they didn't want to make a chicken product because they thought the chicken markets were like too variable and it was going to cost them more than they'd be able to get back. And he, for whatever reason, mapped out the production line of how they could produce Chicken McNuggets and make it profitable. So shout out to Ray Dalio and his fucking consulting firm. Yeah. He got the chicken nuggets off the ground. So this is the guy anyway. He was talking about how he had like a esophageal problem. And he went to one doctor and the doctor was like, you need imminent surgery. You're going to die. You need to cut out like fucking X amount of your like whatever tracts are going in here. Maybe like part of your fucking intestine. And there's like a 75% chance you'll die due to the surgery, 25% chance you'll live, but like 100% chance you'll die in 1 month if you don't get this surgery. And he was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then he went to another person and the other person was like, you don't need to get that surgery, but you do need to do this fucking like chemo or whatever, or yada, 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 yada. And there's a 50% chance that you'll die. And then he was like, okay, I'm glad I had the means to go to another person, get a second opinion, because now the likelihood has gone from I'm 100% dead or I'm 25% have a chance to live to now it's like 50-50 that I'm going to live for maybe a couple of years and that'll be fine. And then for whatever reason, he went to a third person. The person did a test and was like, they've misdiagnosed you, the first two people. You don't need to do anything. We'll just keep monitoring it every month. We'll do another test to see if it's this whatever case that we have. And he followed that one. And this was like 15 years later. So he was like, I went to someone who told me I need to like cut out like multiple feet of my like intestines and esophagus and shit. And if I had just gone with their opinion, there's like a 75% chance I would have died on the operating table, blah, blah, blah. And then the next person, if I'd listened to them, I would have undergone all this chemo and I would have been fucked. And then I went to this third person and they said, just don't do anything. I can't remember how I got onto that, but that was an interesting one from that book. Yeah. I'm paraphrasing that and bastardizing it a little bit, but that was very interesting to hear as well. His whole principle was, because that was the book of having these principles that you live your life by. It was about having like very open communication with the people in this firm. Like you were just like, another book I've listened to is Radical Candor, where you just say what you mean instead of speaking in like fucking roundabouts and saying things you don't really mean. You hope people pick up on a hint. Just say what you mean. That was one of the big things from the Principles book. Like just say what you mean what you say. That was one of the other big things that I took from that. And the Radical Candor book. So just being more upfront, being more honest. Kind of as I was talking with the gym owner about the racks, before I would have felt really uncomfortable. I didn't want to step on any toes or like imply that the equipment wasn't that good quality. But now it's like the equipment is not great quality. There's no reason I should feel like weird about saying that if that's what I believe or that's what I think is true. It's not a personal attack. It's not a personal, I'm not saying something that's like a personal reflection on you. It's just the equipment actually isn't that great. I think we've talked about this before where in other instances, say in like jobs that I've been in, if I was like paid late or I was underpaid for something, I would feel weird. I would feel uncomfortable to go to the person who's the boss and be like, sorry, I think maybe there might have been like a miscommunication or somewhere along the lines. Like I think maybe I got like underpaid a little bit or like just in case you check, I could be wrong. Like maybe this is the case. That's what I would have been like before. Whereas I know full well I was owed an extra €200 from when I was paid. It's not like a personal thing. It's not a personal attack. You just radical candor, say what's true, say what's on your mind. Yeah, So that's been another big thing that I've taken on board. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been flat out on the
that
books.
comes to fruition. Yeah, I'd love to see you like interact with other people.
Yeah.
It's like one thing, you and I, it's like we're so close. It's like,
yeah,
whatever.
You would, yeah.
But with other people, I'm keen to see.
Yeah, it's and obviously there's a line to it. You don't just
Obviously.
take that and you're just obnoxious, like you're a prick, like you just because you
Well,
do
you
hear
know,
that.
some people have heard that and they're
You do,
like,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
I'm going.
Because you hear some people say like, "Oh, I'm just like a straight shooter," or "I don't take shit." No, you
You're
just
an
have
asshole.
no people skill. Like,
Yeah.
you've no like tact or
Yeah.
So obviously there's a balance to be struck there.
Yeah.
But yeah, being more comfortable with being candid and upfront and honest, and doing that with respect and doing that with
I think that is the line.
a sense of sensitivity. Yeah. So they've been really interesting ones that I've gone over. I think I'm going to start going back over previous books. I think I might go back to Crucial Conversations again and just re-internalize it. This is a really interesting idea actually that I heard recently. It was about the necessity of like the repetition or like the re-consumption of information, where it's not the case that you just listen to a book once and it's like, okay, I've completed that book. I know everything that is in that and my life is going to be changed from this point forward. Or you hear an idea and it's like, okay, perfect. Now I've internalized that and I know it. We need to, like, that's part of the human condition, is we need repetition and exposure to take those things on board. And the kind of the reference in the explanation that I heard was, say, like religions. Like there's religions where you read the same one book over and over and over and over for the rest of your life to internalize those messages and internalize like the stories that are being conveyed. Like there's some religions where you have to pray, I'm going to make it up, but like 6 times a day. You have to go back and read verses from whatever scriptures over and over and over. Or some religions where you have to do it every 1 day a week, where you go to the ceremonies and blah, 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 blah. So it would be naive to think that I could just read a book once and that's me. I've got that knowledge for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You gotta keep taking those refresher courses. You gotta keep reminding yourself. You gotta keep yourself on track. So that's what I'm probably gonna do. I'll go back to some of those books, get a bit of an update. And again, do you ever drive somewhere and then the drive back always feels way quicker than the first drive to there? Because the first drive, you're taking in all this new like sensory information and you're like processing all the new stuff. But then on the way back, you have already processed that and it's like your brain's just filtering through it much quicker. I think that may be the case with these books, where the first time, say with a book, it might be the case that like 70% of it is like filler, or it's to connect an idea or lead you to another idea. And then 30% is like this value, like the condensed value. But you're taking in everything. You're taking in all the sensory information in the beginning. Whereas on the second time, you know what to filter through a little bit quicker. And then you might find new nuggets of information that you didn't find the first time around.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'm going to do.
Mm.
Yep.
Nice.
Is there anything else on your mind? Anything we want to tackle? Okay.
No.
We go weekly. I want to get these motherfuckers a nice hour out weekly.
Yeah.
A nice touch point. Get to
Doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit these out.
Yeah.
Because I think we're already like an hour and 15.
Probably are actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, let's do them weekly or so.
Yeah. Perfect.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's just try it. Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
Anything you want to end off on? Or are you good there?
I think I'm good there. Knowing that we this isn't going to be the last one for a while.
Yeah.
If we're doing this again next week, I'm happy to.
Perfect. All right. There's blood all over my sock.
Yeah, man. That's what I was pointed at it. You didn't answer. What?
I know. Yeah. No. I thought it was just the scab.
What is it? What is it?
It's from deadlifting. Because now I'm getting skinnier. The bar is way closer to me.
Way closer. To
so I have cuts all over my shins.
Damn.
And that one keeps tearing. I'm wearing deadlift socks now, but it keeps ripping.
John Bernthal confirmed for Spider-Man 4.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
on that note,
see you
see you
there.
motherfuckers in the next one.